It is time once again back at it to the Windy City Studios production. You already know who it is, the Windy City Savage himself. Go ahead, introduce yourself, co-host.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, the important man, SG3. How y'all doing tonight?
And with that, you already know. Let's get into the Raw review tonight. We hailed all the way from Italy once again after Clash of Italy happened. This is the aftermath Monday Night Raw. Alrighty, let's get into it. So let's put it this way, man. Raw opens up with the Usos and Roman Reigns coming out of an SUV. Tribal Cheese coming out tonight to address a certain somebody, a new bloodline member, and that'll be Jacob Fatu. So Roman comes out to a hot Italy crowd, which takes him a while to get in there, as well as just to simmer and soak in all the crowd reaction, right? Because it was a hot crowd tonight, and you could tell. So as he soaks it up, he obviously says, I forgot what's it called? Torino.
Yep.
Acknowledge me. I forgot the name for a second. It was Torino. Acknowledge me. And with that, he starts off. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. No day like Acknowledgement Day. And then Jay says, it's like the matter of fact, where's Jacob at? First day at the job and he's already late? Come on, Jacob. And at that point, they wait for Jacob to come out. Jacob Fatu's music hits. He comes out into the ring. Once he gets into the ring, the crowd does give him a good, ovation. So the crowd was pretty pro Jacob Fatu. Now, that being said, it's probably because it's a starter and everybody's hot and everybody's ready. But Jacob's in the ring with the bloodline. And at that point, Jay says, like, moving too slow, you know what time it is. On Jacob Fatu. Fatu looks at Jay, pulls the mic away from him, and Roman says, Jacob, I'm over here. Now, that being said, real quick, have you noticed, though, that Jay's really fucking, bothered? Very, all right, let's get this shit going. Let's get on the road, man. He's very aggressive tonight so far. He's really pushing it. And don't you think maybe because this stuff kind of hits him home? Where not too long ago, about a couple of years back,
he was the first one to acknowledge.
Yep, he was in that tribal combat himself, and he had to acknowledge him, and he knows how it feels like to basically go through all that process and acknowledge Roman Reigns. So he was kind of being a little pushy. But if you notice, there was a lot of tension already building up between Fatu and Jay.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but that already tells me that there's going to be a storyline
down
the road with these two guys. But any other thoughts regardless before we go on?
It's definitely something. I liked when he, don't know if we're going to bring this up, but I like when he was like, Jay, I ain't talking to you anyway.
We're about to bring it up.
Okay, I went ahead, as always. Keep going, though.
Alrighty. So Roman says, obviously, Jacob, I'm over here. Jacob at Tribal Combat. I knew what was going to get myself into. This, by the way, what Jacob says. I knew the consequences. I knew what would happen if I walk out with the title last night. I knew also what would happen if I lost. I've been taking L's my whole life. Brought me here to standing here in front of you right now. Speaking of loss last night, in front of the world, including his children, they seen his father take a L. But he kept his word last night. I lost to my tribal chief, but I didn't lose to yo punk ass Jay. So that's what he told Jay Uso, and he looked at him. Let's keep it 100, Roman. I acknowledge you. He gets down on one knee, raises his hand up. Roman grabs it, and he says, you don't understand right now, but Jacob, I love you. And with that, he brings him back up. And then at this point, Jimmy takes the mic and said, it's on. Jacob, you here now. This is a warning shot out there in the back. All you guys, You guys are the twos, and we the ones. And with that being said, they
The
all
bloodline.
raised their hands up. They put their ones up, and then Jacob slowly, finally realized that where he's at, well, what family now rocking, and he puts the one up himself. Um, so as they go on, they walk off stage, they put the ones up one more time to the rep entrance, and this is how we open up Monday Night Raw. Um, so what do you think of this segment overall? How do you feel about it? Um, do you like it? Do you have some issues with it? Opinions? What do you feel like right now?
Lazy ass booking. That's what the hell I have a problem with. It's just, but again, we've been saying it. Bloodline 2.0, Bloodline 3.0, Bloodline 7.0. It's back.
I just call it Bloodline 2026 because it seems like every year we have some sort of version of it. So I agree with you, which is odd because we never agree with shit. So I'm gonna say this: it's bad booking, lazy booking. I'm getting sick and tired of when they don't have nothing, no material going for them.
And pushing the bloodline.
We got to bring back the bloodline, bring back something that wasn't even Triple H's idea to begin with, and rehash it, revive it, relight it, and bring it back one more time. So they say. And I don't know about you, but I'm not very intrigued by it. I wasn't happy last night. So watching that match itself, it was okay. I don't think it was great. I thought it was all right, but at the same time, it was predictable.
Yeah.
And during the end, I wasn't excited to see Fatu lose. I was just kind of like, huh. Like, I wasn't excited at all. Like, I'm not happy to see another version of the bloodline. I get it. The vision was your main storyline. Everybody got hurt. So that's why I feel like they're trying to fall back with the bloodline just because the vision is not working out right now because all these guys are out and about right now.
Literally.
So at this point, WWE is just scrambling around to make something work once again to build up all summer and probably until Royal Rumble season when WrestleMania comes back. And I'm getting tired of it. And it's not just them. It's the vision right now that's not working out anymore. It's Judgment Day, even though none of the original members are there anymore. It's the MFTs that we saw last night as well at Clash of Italy.
Yeah. Saw them today. And I'm missing one more group.
But yeah, regardless, it's just like all these groups, it's like put an end towards it, especially Judgment Day too.
Yeah.
They've been going around doing nothing lately. And it's like now Dom is the guy front and center, and yet he has done nothing. It just feels like, if anything, now that he's the leader of the group, it devalued him even more.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's nothing coming out of him anymore. Like, at least when Balor was around, when Damian was around, when Rhea around, he had a lot of storyline. But now it's like there's nothing there. It's pathetic. It's boring. Same thing goes for this right now. And obviously, last night after the match, after Roman and Fatu, we did see by the crowd that there was the MFTs.
Yeah.
Right there. And with that being said, we already know where they're going to head to. Eventually, down the line, we're going to see the MFTs versus the Bloodline War Games. Well, it might be War Games or it might not. Who knows? Because at the same time, I don't want to see this drag. And people already saw that, and people are already reacting negatively. Really negative. What do you think about that? What do you saw when you seen that yesterday? What was your reaction to it? Are you excited? Are you happy? Are you just say, fuck it, let me just see where they're gonna go with this?
First, we got a comment. Why wrestling? What up, brother? Hey guys, what up? Just doing some gaming on my Twitch. Just want to come by and say hi. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. What game are you playing?
What's up, Wyatt? Congrats with your 800 subs, brother. Keep it going, man.
Congrats, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was on the stream, by the way, guys. Check out Wyatt Wrestling. We do collab every Friday, and we're gonna start collabing on PLEs as well. So
this.
Yep, good brother out there.
Very good brother. Honestly, though, back to what I was saying though, it's lazy booking. Honestly, it's lazy booking. It's predictable booking. even though you know what, like I know we're gonna talk about it later, but I have to bring it up. We knew about the match on Saturday. We knew who was gonna win, but they still gave a stellar performance. I think that's what WWE's been missing. They're no longer giving us that like, oh, okay, cool. We knew Roman was gonna win, but there was still like an edge that maybe Fatu could have won.
You now that being said, you thought that Jacob and Roman was a good match? Because I thought I was gonna say
That's what I'm trying to say. Like Los Americanos, that was a phenomenal match. It's the best match WWE has put on for years.
Yeah, but what we're talking about right now
But
is
what
the
I'm saying,
MFTs. And
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say though is like it's predictable. So we know what's gonna happen. We know how the build-up's gonna be. Yes, it's gonna be months of it. We also saw Cody and Roman later on at night. So we know that's gonna come up eventually.
yeah.
Maybe that delivers a match, a good one, but at the end of the day, it's like, why?
But that's what I'm saying is, what is the point of now trying to get something going with the MFTs? This made more sense to happen last year around August to September. Instead, they just kind of spin off and went
Yeah.
another direction.
The only reason I can see it happening is because they're just scared.
Well, it's just at this point they have no more things to do with
That's what I'm saying.
anytime a storyline. And at that point as well, you're missing a person for the MFTs because you got rid of a lot of the other players right now. So there's no Tongaloa and there's no JC Mateo. So the point is this is you're 3 against 4. And Jacob Fatu is one bad motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
So to replace them, you need to add one more member. Because we did see when Jacob was leaving the ring last night that he did Solo and the MFTs. And it looked like more of a disappointment. Like he realized what he just did. And he knows that Solo's not happy with them. And he's not happy with himself as well. So the way I see this going is that either there's going to be something going on, like some shady shit where Roman doesn't trust Fatu fully. And he's keeping an eye on him because he still has some sort of alliance with Solo because he's the one that brought him in. Or eventually Solo Sikoa is going to have to bring up another member. And I think this other member could be Royce Keys.
I can see it.
Yeah, because I don't see a lot of people say Silla Fatu. I do not see Silla Fatu coming into WWE at all. He just does so much work in the indies. He has so much freedom. He makes so much money. And what is the point for him to come in to be a backup dancer for Solo Sikoa? To be another, basically, it's like JC Mateo. JC Mateo had a lot of hype. He had a lot of character coming into WWE. They did nothing with him. Nothing. He didn't even speak. He rarely spoken. I don't think he ever spoken really. So they basically at that point they didn't do nothing to him. I see Silla Fatu being the same way. Coming in, get the excitement out, but eventually he's gonna get lost in the mix. And I think he knows that. So why would he want to come in where he's doing whatever he wants on the indie scenes? And right now he's champion of HOG.
I remember you saying that last week, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense for him to come in. So I could see Royce Keys coming in, getting involved in that type of energy. Another badass with Jacob Fatu. It's a good balance.
And they're both powerhouses.
Yeah. So it's a good balance overall. I like it if it's that direction. I will like I like the intriguing part of it. I'm not gonna say it's a good storyline, but there is some sort of intrigue type of thing
There's
going on.
There's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to that?
I feel like WWE, you know what? Let me go ahead and add with you. If there is intrigue, there is, wonder who's going to be the last member. If they do decide to drag this thing off for the next 5 months, which I think they are. If they do bring in Royce Keys, that'll be awesome. It really does add like a again, powerhouse versus powerhouse. People are going to be excited for that match. Let them start off the match if that's the first ones. They actually do come, if they do bring in the Royce Keys for this, like as a favor. Hey, we got the Jacob problem. Don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna solve your problem. That'll be a badass way to start the match. But I feel like it's WWE. They're gonna fumble it one way or another, and we're gonna get some random person become part of this for no apparent reason whatsoever.
That, or I don't know. So far too, we do have some animosity between Jay and Jacob.
Mhm.
So eventually, I could see that being potentially the breakup of the bloodline, being Jacob and Jay somewhere down the line, fighting and getting out of hand, and eventually leads to chaos between themselves. Also, this just reminds me of one more thing. This reminds me of Sami Zayn Bloodline 2.0. Now instead of Sami Zayn, we have Jacob Fatu,
Two.
which, like I said, copy and paste every single week. Now it's copy and paste. Now instead of Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu in the storyline. I don't like it. It just seems kind of dumb. We've seen it before. Where's the real excitement at? Let's get something different going on. But I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see because there's a lot of potential good storylines if they did it the right way. But we've seen this get played out so many times, and if
Yeah.
anything, this just could be all lost in the sauce, and nothing ever comes out of it. If anything, there's so much potential of Jacob Fatu having their own storyline, breaking away, becoming a bigger star. Which all this could just lead to him just being on the bloodline, saying "I love you, Roman," and that's it, and nothing ever comes about it. I
Which,
mean,
if I was
there's
WWE, I would have him betray the team at War Games and have him cost Jay the match. That way, it leads to another storyline, which, yeah, it could get you to maybe Royal Rumble or hell, even WrestleMania over there, because they're gonna be inside the next year.
yeah, but I highly doubt Fatu is going to be in the main event.
I'm not saying main event, but I'm just saying that at least in, in WrestleMania still.
But that's saying if Roman's going to face Fatu, which I
No,
doubt
I'm not saying Roman. I'm saying Jay.
Jay and Jacob.
Yeah.
But that's too long of a storyline, man. It's just gonna get very stale real quick. Hell, even thinking about this all the way to November, it's just gonna get stale, man. I don't know. Anything that drags out more than 2 months, it's a no go for me, man. In this day and age of our attention spans not being that long, I think they should know that. Which I mean by that, you're on this TikTok age where
Yeah.
it's only shorts and shorts. So you would think that WWE would understand is long story booking storytelling works if you've done it right. But if you drag it too long, being copy and paste, everybody's gonna get bored pretty quick about it. And I just have no.
I feel like they're taking the page out of AEW of what 2022.
For what
they're
storyline though?
Copy and paste. No, I'm saying though. Remember how AEW was copy and paste like a lot of the old storylines to the new ones, or a lot of old WWE storylines to their. A lot of fans have been saying that, but okay, whatever.
Nah, I don't really see that. If anything, I see them forgetting their storyline and just moving on at that point. But it just seems lazy booking, bro, and I'm not excited for it. It just seems a lot of things that they're trying to get out there. They're, like I said, if done right, they could give us something new, something intriguing, and something to get us excited again, and be like, you know what, maybe this bloodline shit may not be too bad. But that's also asking WWE to put on their thinking caps. And that is also asking Triple H to put his pride aside. And, because in the end of the day, no matter what writer comes up with what, he's the one that gives up the okay and lets the idea go along. A couple of comments, by the way.
Nick, I watched Oba versus Brock and Roman versus Fatu from Clash. I liked both. Nick and Chad Gable unmasking was dope.
Alrighty, so Oba versus Brock, by the way, was a pretty decent match. I did like the fact that Brock hit him with 7 F5s. And yes, I wasn't a big fan of Oba losing, but at least he hit him with 7 F5s.
I won to the table.
Yeah, one to the table, which I guess at that point, fuck it. Why not? Just we already knew Brock was gonna come out here winning. I thought it should have been 30 that he won it, with something outside interference or Paul Heyman interference. But it is what it was. 1-1. That's how it goes so far. It wasn't a bad match, but also wasn't my favorite of the night. But that's just me. Roman and Fatu as well. I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of that one. I thought it was okay, but I don't know. I guess it was just too predictable by then because the whole Clash of Italy card was just predictable from start to finish. Literally, our prediction from that 5-match card exactly played out. And for me, I just find that very, it just brought it down to grade a bit because it's like, what do we get that night? We didn't get nothing new. We got everything that us fans pretty much predicted, which just seems a little bit boring. And then Chad Gable unmasking was dope. Yes, it was. Honestly, his speech, everything was great that night. It was a good card because I watched it from start to finish.
It was a very good card though.
Yeah, I saw Ray Phoenix winning a championship because in the main roster he's just buried. In AAA, at least they gave him an opportunity.
Yeah,
Rightfully so, because I think he's one of the best luchadors in the industry right now. So for him to win a championship, I'm glad to see that. I'm really happy. And the rest of the card wasn't bad. Obviously, the main event was Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser, Grande versus Grande. It was a long match, a lot of near falls, but it was really good. A lot of interference too, but it worked out. It wasn't over excessive interference, and it wasn't a lot of like, yeah, it was good. It was a lot of near falls. Honestly, in my opinion, I wanted Chad Gable to win because I feel like had he come out here tonight winning that night as a heel, it would have just made him like the ultimate heel in AAA. And he would have got so much heat and it would have worked out fine for him. And then Ludwig Kaiser could have came back in some sort of capacity, I feel like. They could have found a loophole. They could have changed his name. They could have done something, give him a different mask, obviously. But it is what it is. Regardless, the storytelling, the ending was great. Chad Gable fucking bleeding out there. I honestly, I was talking to Wyatt and them on Sunday, and honestly think that Chad Gable might have got cut when he was not supposed to get cut, because that was a big spot.
Super. It wasn't mirrored. It looked like he had a bruise on his head.
Well, there was a spot with the steel steps where he landed face first. I think he wasn't supposed to land that hard, and he just let go, and he could have suffered a concussion on top of the cut.
Yeah,
the deep cut. Because I don't know about you, but during the end, he looked a little lost. He looked like, I get it, he just had a bang of a match, but a guy with that much stamina and in great shape, I don't think he was like, he just looked very lost and out of breath. And he was just colored up completely. I don't think that was supposed to be a spot that it was supposed to cut him that deep. But regardless, the speech was it was great.
I love the fact that he had his family in there. You know, the one part I did love though, when he took off his mask, his son took off his mask too. That was pretty badass.
It's also nice that they retouched the story. See, here's the thing: where WWE forgets a lot of their storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember when Bailey was crazy? Whatever happened to that? Nothing. Remember when Jay was supposed to turn heel? What's been going on with that? Not much. So there's a lot of storylines that WWE forget. The one thing that AAA did not forget was what was the reason Chad Gable first became Grande Americano?
Yep.
Because he hated the luchadors and he wanted to take them out. But instead, he learned it and appreciated the craft even more.
Loved it.
Yeah. And at that point, it told a great storyline. The crowd went from hating him to cheering him on.
They were literally chanting Gable. It was awesome, man. Honestly, that match had everything.
Yeah. And then eventually, obviously, he's going to return. He said in AAA. So I honestly would rather have him in AAA
than WWE.
Yeah, any day of the week. Because in WWE, he's going to be a mid-carder for the rest of his life if he's lucky. But in AAA, I think they could build him into the next superstar out there.
Next heel.
What else we got? I like that we have the Bloodline running things again. Really? I don't know. Nick, I might have to disagree with you with that, man. I'm not a big fan of it. Let me know why, though. Like, give us your opinion. Because for me, it just seems the same copy and paste. This whole Jacob Fatu seems like Sami Zayn 2.0.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know what direction they're going with this. I don't really like it. It just seems the same old copy and paste. But let me know what you think. And he also says top two matches of the year: Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser and Punk and Roman. Okay, yeah. I mean, I agree with Punk and Roman. Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser. Yeah, pretty much.
For me, that was match of the year so far.
On WWE side, I'll agree with those two. Now, by the end of the year, we could put those two against every other company out there, and let's see what we get out because we still got half of a year still
Literally.
left. So we got way more wrestling to tell, and I guarantee we're gonna get a lot more matches. And he also comments,
I was always a fan of Roman storytelling on camera. It always feels big when he's around.
see, I'm not saying he doesn't bring an aura, but I'm not as excited. I I really don't I don't feel excited like I did back in 2020, 2021, 2022, 23, 24, up until the Cody Rhodes story and all that. I don't feel the same way. I'm not saying he doesn't have that aura about him. He does, but it's not the same thing. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. Who knows? I might be wrong. And I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's just see how it goes after that. And let's get back into the rivalry real quick. By the way, tonight was also it was that Mass versus Mass was so big that eventually after Raw tonight they represented once again on Netflix for free. So
Oh,
that's how good this match was. So I think WWE was very happy with what they got in the end. Um, Afterwards we had Penta come out because out next is a fatal four way
yeah.
with Carmelo Hayes, Sol Sikoa, and Tala Tonga on ringside, and obviously the Conqueror Obafemi. And this is for basically King of the Ring, guys. Um, so Oba comes out, he takes out everybody once he's in the ring, and he still, does his pose afterwards, which was pretty nice. And at that point, at some point later on in the night, we did get a stare down between Tala and Obafemi. Oba mostly dominated the match. We had Oba getting assault at some point by Tala, which Tala gave him a big boot and knocked out Oba for quite a bit. Penta flies on Solo and takes him out, and then Carmelo does the same, but almost misses Penta at some point, which was a scary bout for Carmelo. It went too quick, I feel like, for both men. They eventually take it back in the ring. We get more back and forth exchange from both men, all three men, I'm sorry, until Oba rises up. Tala goes back after Oba. He misses. Oba takes him out. Then he goes in and takes out Carmelo Hayes, wipes him out with a strong chop, spine buster to look like. And then he goes into the ring real quick, takes out Penta with the spine buster,
Yep.
goes back after Tala, puts him through an announce table, runs it back in, takes out Sol Sikoa, and then gets him into a fall from grace and advances to the King of the Ring. Oba goes for the mic afterwards and speaks. Lesnar's questioned me, asked me if I could take an ass whooping. Obafemi, what do you do after receiving an ass whooping? A beatdown after taking 7 F5s. Well, I'm standing and winning. I took your best shot. I'm still here. At the end of the day, I will win the King of the Ring, and you, sir, are coward Lesnar, and we're still 1-1, and I'll see you soon.
Yep.
Yep, and that was Obafemi's response to Brock Lesnar. How this segment went, I got two things to criticize. One, the King of the Ring just does not seem so exciting like past years. And against like AEW's Owen Hart Cup, I just don't find it on the same level, which is odd because you would think that would be below this whole King of the Ring. But as well, Fatal 4-Way. Why? Back in the day, it was always 1 versus 1 because you wanted to see who's the better man. But now we're having Fatal 4-Ways. I'm not excited for that. I'm sorry. I just think it's kind of dumb. I did like the fact that Oba did look strong throughout this match. That I'll give as a positive. And he looks to be back on the right track to face Brock Lesnar eventually, which could either be at Night of Champions or at SummerSlam. But like I said, dude, I do not like this Fatal 4-Way. I think it should just be back in the old days, 1 versus 1, to see who's the better man or the better woman on the singles matches. SG3, what do you think?
I miss the King of the Ring from the '90s or it was 1-on-1. Dude, wasn't there like a whole pay-per-view though, a whole PLE?
King of the Ring, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like, wasn't it like you have match after match after match, and that's what made you the king of the ring, because you were going like literally to become the king to face everybody after you beat them.
It was really, I get what you're saying. It was first like the qualifier match,
Yeah.
but then it was getting close to the end. So it'll be like the semifinals. I mean, the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the finals by the end of the night. Yeah. So yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of fatal four ways or triple threat match. Should just be 1-on-1. Makes a lot more sense.
Did it make Oba look strong though? Yes, it made Oba look super strong. It made Oba like honestly, like, you know what, cool, you can take the L. You can take the L from Brock, but you know what? It's like, at least you're showing that you're like there still is hope for Oba to be the ruler, to be this big monster.
Okay.
So it works.
All right.
I can see why they did it. Because you did wrong to the King of the Ring, but you did right to Oba.
Right.
Because you wanted Oba to look super strong, but you also didn't want to squish squash anyone that was out there. Because if you think about it, they had Solo, he's huge. Penta, huge. Carmelo Hayes, huge. And I'm not saying size-wise, I'm saying like star power. They're all huge. So it's like if you crush them, if you squash them, you're actually deflating their momentum. So at this point, it's okay to do what they did, because the fact it, as Nick said right now, it makes, and you said, Oba looks strong. Oba looks powerful again, and it makes Oba like, because you're just like, dude, just had a hellacious ass match against Brock, turns around, dominates this thing, and dude, that chop he gave to Carmelo Hayes, holy shit, that was a chop. That's one. Two, turns around after he hits Hayes, hits Penta, runs out the ring, picks up Tala, throws him to the table, comes back inside, gets Solo, throws him, gets him from the Fall of Grace. 1, 2, 3, and it's like, dude, I still remember why he's as strong as he is. I still remember why he is the beast. He's the monster. This helps Oba, and it doesn't squash anybody.
I don't know about doesn't squash. I mean, it looked like fucking Tala got squashed.
Again, though, but I'm saying in the match.
I mean, it kind of did, man. It looked like Solo got squashed, and what's his name? Carmelo Hayes hasn't done shit. Carmelo Hayes is a jobber, man. Let's be real at this point. I love Carmelo Hayes, but let's just be real. He's mid-carder at best. But ever since he lost his U.S. title, he's going downhill, and I could see that. Penta's the only one that looked like he was safe during this match. But for Solo and Carmelo Hayes, I'm sorry, I gotta disagree on that. But I agree with you with the rest of the stuff, though. We do have a comment from Nick from the top one before you read the other one on the bottom.
He is not Roman without his bloodline. Roman on his own doesn't feel as good as when he is with his family.
So Nick. So I agree with you on that. But that's also the sad part, is that we'll never get a Roman by himself anymore. Because when we did get that, but also he was a face, and he was a face for a bit. And now technically, so here's the dilemma too. This whole bloodline, this new version, it seems like they're trying to be a face, but yet they're doing a lot of heelish stuff.
Yeah.
So are they going to turn heel eventually once again? I feel like they're going to.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, I feel like the MFTs might try to be the good guys out of all this, or at least try to act like it. But the thing is, though, is that Roman could never get over really by himself. I mean, we saw that when he first started. He was getting booed crazy. It wasn't until he turned heel and aligned himself with the bloodline, when you had Jay and Jimmy, had his backup, had his reaction, helped him out on the mic. That's when he truly felt like he was over on the next level. And it's kind of weird, you know? And yeah, by himself, it just didn't felt like that. So that's kind of sad, though, that for the next couple of years, Roman needs to depend on somebody else. Because in the end of the day, if it wasn't for the Usos, it would be Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
That's why they gave him Paul Heyman to begin with. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, man. Because, like, in the end, it's just saying that Roman can't do it by himself.
I can see why, though, they're bringing back the bloodline. Because even though Roman's not going to defend the title, because Lord knows how long he's going to have it for now. But since he's not going to defend the title as often, he needs someone to be there to help, or excuse me, to defend something for him or to fight for his honor.
That and good point about how long. I predict till WrestleMania, unfortunately. I would tell you this. I'll put money that Cody Rhodes will lose his title pretty soon. And he might lose it to Gunther. I have a strong feeling that he's going to lose it to Gunther. But I can see Roman going all the way to Mania at Saudi. And if the rumors are true and they're going to bring out The Rock, I can see the storyline going to the next level. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry, but I don't want to see an old ass Rock try to get back in the ring.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to be as good as people think it is. It's Rock, man. He's past his prime. He's past. Yes, he may look good. Doesn't mean he's going to wrestle good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the ring for a long time. So, but I can see that. I could really see Roman holding his title hostage all the way till WrestleMania, where the Saudis are throwing large money to have The Rock return because you're running out of superstars. You don't have John Cena anymore. You don't have a Goldberg, Takers. You don't have none of that.
Styles.
Yeah, so you might get Brock, but that's about it. What else does he say?
And Roman smack talk is worth the price of tickets alone.
Is that really worth whatever they're charging right now? It's a ridiculous amount. I mean,
Dude, Raw in our backyard is $300 for section 100. That's insane, dude.
But regardless of whatever we go, what I'm saying is like with the gas being as expensive as it is right now, everywhere, plus food, parking, wherever you go, is it really worth the ticket prices? I mean,
plus drink.
I don't think so. I'm sorry. I don't think it is. I will not attend the next Raw here. I will not attend any PLEs. I was considering SummerSlam, but at these prices, man, I'm not sure. And the way the economy is right now, good luck on that. But hey, if you guys got the money, you guys would like to do that, more power to you. Honestly, have fun. Enjoy it. And I hope it's a good show. Because that's a lot of bread to spend for a mediocre show. If that's the case, I would be mad. But regardless, if you have the price, you have the money, more power to you. But I don't know, man. That's subjective to me. Do you find Roman Reigns smack talk to be that appealing? If you would have said in Austin, a John Cena, who else was good on the mic? Maybe The Undertaker. When he was the American Badass Undertaker, obviously. Who else? I can't say Seth Rollins. Edge was pretty good. Not gonna lie. Randy Orton, not bad. Cody Rhodes, maybe.
Batista for his one-liners,
maybe
phenomenal.
I think Batista more of his looks. That was an aura in itself.
Well, it was like, again, it was the entrance, it was the look, but then it was like, I'll never forget the line. This $1 million body and this 10-cent brain about to kick your ass. When he was talking to Triple H WrestleMania 21. That was a hitter.
Well, I will give you this, Nick. After Clash of the Elite was coming to an end and they went backstage to Gorilla, we did see Roman cut that little promo on everybody and saying, I want to do this right, but I hear all you guys out there, Royce Keys, LA Knights, all you guys are going to get it eventually. I'm doing this the right way. I'm trying to bring this back, but in the right way. But you guys are the reason why I'm getting to this point. I like that smack talk. I'm not going to lie. I like that. I don't know why they didn't bring that into the ring instead of in the back, but it is what it is. What else he says?
And then he says, no, Roman needs people around him because his aura is so powerful. He needs to be elevating others all the time. Without others around him, they're wasting his ability.
Okay. All right. So part of it, I agree with you. But elevating. Who's been elevated besides Cody from this whole bloodline saga?
Because Sami Zayn.
But he was only elevated during that period. Once it was over, where do we have Sami Zayn right now? The last good guy?
Yeah.
The guy that a lot of people are starting to turn against. Kevin Owens was over until he got injured. So that's hard to say.
Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre.
from the bloodline. I think all those guys had storylines in itself that elevated themselves, and Seth Rollins was already elevated without Roman. I mean, he was in the authorities. He did so much stuff. I think Seth Rollins is his own category. Drew was already on his way up once again. I don't know, man. I just don't see that from the bloodline. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't know. Whatever. Just keep
Here's
more.
Nick. I'll agree with you, but I also disagree on one point. And here's the one thing I'll disagree on. One thing I'll disagree on is if he didn't have the people he has around him, we would complain about him not putting the title so much on the line, or we would complain about that there's no one to, lose some power. There'll be people out there. Oh yeah, so many damn cousins, but yet they can't form a faction together, or something like that to protect his damn legacy. Because for a long time, dude, I'm not gonna lie, during his title reign, I literally forgot my wait. When was the last time he freaking had defended it? I had forgot myself.
I think CM Punk had more.
CM Punk definitely had way more title defenses than Roman
during Roman's fucking years of title reigns.
What I'm trying to say though is with the bloodline at his side, it takes away from the fact that he doesn't defend it as much.
Yeah.
Mind you, a lot of people say he doesn't need to because of the fact that he has this, he has that, this and that. It's a show. He's only supposed to be the big ones, whatever, blah, blah, blah. However, though, it's like you want a fighting champion regardless of who it is, what they do, anything. Again, I'm not disagreeing with you. Roman has tremendous aura. I just feel that I remember 2012 Brock when he came in and he became champion. We started to complain about and again, Brock came in, fucking Florida literally almost exploded how huge it got, the fact that he was back. And when he came back, he won the title. And it was like, after a while, I was like, wait, why isn't he defending it? So I feel like this is why they're doing this with Roman, to protect that question and to not have us ask all the time, why is he not defending it? And that's why they made the workhorse title now, which is Cody's title.
Well, technically the workhorse was the one that Roman's holding, but now it seems like Cody Rhodes the workhorse title, which is disappointing overall. But yeah, I agree with you, SG3.
And again, and I'm not,
it's half and half to me. You know?
I'm not disagreeing with Nick because, again, I'm not saying the fact that his aura is not big. His aura is literally, it's really huge. What he does, trash talks during the match, talks right into the camera. So it's like you feel like more towards.
I'm not gonna disagree. He has the aura. I think he is the face of WWE right now.
Yes,
but I just don't see him on that level like the guys in the past. I don't see him on that Cena level. I don't see him on the Rock's level, on the Austin level, on the Hulk Hogan's era level.
Fuck, even Bret Hart.
Maybe on Bret Hart's level for sure. Bret was always a guy, but yeah, I do have him. I don't know. I do have him because Bret wasn't charismatic as much as he should have been. But even Shawn Michaels, I don't know. That guy was charismatic. I don't know, man. It's subjective, I guess. If you felt that way about him, that's cool. I mean, I can't see it. But yeah, in a way, he just reminds me of Brock Lesnar in that case. Come when he wants, leave. But with Jimmy and Jay, that helps him when he doesn't want to be there, obviously. And that helps still push this whole storyline. But see, here's the thing, though, that bothers me is that all this buildup weeks before where people were asking him, like LA Knight was asking Jimmy and Jay, like, what's going on here? You guys reformed the bloodline. They're like, nah, it's not even about that. It's business. But now it seems like they're reforming the bloodline where, hell, last night, you had Jay put down the ropes for Roman to get out of the ring, which is like they're lackeys again. So all this, it's not even like that. No, it is like that now. It just seems like they're back to his whipping boys once again.
Literally.
So all that build up for Jay, and I get it, we weren't happy about the whole, movement and all, but I don't know, man. It just seems like to have Roman again above them just seems like we're trying to restart this whole thing once again, and that's what I'm not excited for. And I know we build up to more later on tonight, and we'll talk about that, but it just, I don't know. Bad start. Any comments more? Okay. Let's keep reading.
Couple comments. A lot of comments. So He elevated Cody, Uso, Solo, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and every person Roman faced off during his reign.
The Usos, okay, did he elevate them? Because we thought Jay was going to be the guy, and he ended up not being the guy. Sami Zayn was only elevated during the storyline, but afterwards it went nowhere, and so did Sami Zayn. And now to the point where some people don't like seeing Sami Zayn week by week. He was getting betrayed by the fans at some point. Kevin Owens,
He got hurt.
he got hurt, and obviously we can't really tell, but he was over. I'll give him that. He was over, and that was because of the bloodline that helped him. But then again, Kevin Owens was always a fan favorite. Yeah, we all love Kevin Owens. Hell, when Goldberg squashed Kevin Owens, a lot of the fans were mad about that. So Kevin Owens was always a fan favorite. Cody Rhodes, I think that was the right spot for both men. Cody was already over coming into WWE.
He was.
And we already knew he was going to be the guy who dethroned Roman. I feel like that was just perfect superstars. That was basically Stone Cold and The Rock was basically Cody and Roman of this era. So I find that hard to believe. What else we got?
Solo. I agree with him on that one, though. I do agree he did.
Oh, well, Solo Sikoa. Sorry, I missed that one. So, yeah, I'll give you that. Solo Sikoa, definitely because of the MFTs and how that storyline. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
If they couldn't stay over, that was their problem, not Roman's problem. I agree with you. That's 100% true.
But I mean, yeah, but at the same time, that means it just didn't elevate. And the rest of the guys, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it went nowhere. And honestly, Sami Zayn should have beat Roman. During that time, he was so over.
He really was.
And instead, they went to Cody. At least he should have beat him for one of those titles, at his hometown. But I don't know.
Montreal.
In that case too, how did he elevate him?
Yeah. They tried to make Rollins into the next leader of a big fashion, and he couldn't do it. Not like Roman and the Bloodline could.
I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'll agree with you.
I agree with him on that.
I'll agree with you, but there was a lot of potential for this faction to be good because we did have a lot of appeal, but also a lot of it also wasn't his fault due to injuries. Yeah. Look what happened to Bronson Reed. Got injured right away. Seth got injured twice, almost.
Literally.
It's hard to say to me. And then Braun got injured, and this whole Vision angle has just been bad. And now we got Logan Paul injured.
Yep.
But I could agree with you on the Seth part. I think I'll agree with you on that. What else?
Jose Martinez. Okay, I've asked you. What's up, brother? I've asked you a question, WCS, about AAA, but I want your full opinion since you were on Wyatt streaming and couldn't fully talk. I feel like AAA is like the old NXT Black and Gold brand.
That is a good reference to that. I'm not gonna lie to you. The way AAA is running right now, the way the Undertaker has it, because he is one of the bookers right there, it's doing great. Honestly, the way they have it, it's a lot of investment. It feels like its own special thing right now. From start to finish, that card and the last couple of shows that I watched.
They've been bangers.
They've been pretty good. It brings appeal. It has a different aura to it. It brings out excitement. I do see it as NXT Black and Gold, and to me, that was like peak NXT. Yeah. And I don't think we'll ever get that back from NXT itself. No. So I agree with you 100%. And now that you bring that up, Jose, would you like to see more of these superstars, like maybe a Carmelo Hayes that is basically getting squashed now? Who else? Rusev. Who else can we put out there? Like superstars that we know they're good. We know they could put up good matches, but on Raw and SmackDown, they're going to get squashed. But on AAA, we could get them as superstars. Yeah. I think this should be the next NXT Black and Gold, where we're going to have really banger matches and really good storyline too on top of it. Because the way they played out that storyline with Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser was perfect. Honestly, the whole comic book thing, the whole storyline, the ending, good stuff. And I think they could do a lot better too with other superstars. So the whole AAA could still be luchador style, but with a little bit of American twist to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Because right now they have not MLW, CMLL that they're competing with, and CMLL does really great numbers out there. They sell out like instantly,
Yeah.
and that's their biggest competition. If they want to compete with a brand like that, and I'm telling you, CMLL holds their own even more than AAA does.
Yeah.
They want to compete with that. They should bring out a couple of WWE superstars and start mixing them in with a bunch of luchadors. They're already doing it now, but I think they could bring it up to the next level. And I do like that Triple Mania. They're gonna have one night at Vegas, and then the other night back in Mexico.
Yeah.
That is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome.
What else we got?
Roman did his part. Creative disappointed the superstars.
I'm not gonna deny that. That I could agree with, Nick.
I agree with.
I don't know, man. We're gonna have to agree to disagree, but for sure I agree with you that Creative did disappoint a lot of the superstars, but I think that's everybody nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
Jose, I would like that, but I feel like everyone eventually, once we make noises, TKO will be in the mix and will ruin it just like Vince ruined NXT. History will repeat itself.
So that is the scary part. The only way I feel like TKO won't really touch this as much is that AAA still has a ownership into the company, and that's 49%.
They do.
51% is owned by WWE, and 49 is by AAA. So I feel like it won't hit them as hard as NXT Black and Gold did when Vince touched it. And the only
2.0.
Yeah, and the only reason that Vince ended up ruining that NXT and revamping it to what was it called, NXT 2.0, was the fact that he was pissed off that his son-in-law Triple H couldn't beat AEW's in the ratings every week and lost against them. And that's why he held that kind of grudge against NXT and buried it. 2.0 wasn't that bad though. It wasn't great as Black and Gold, but we got a lot of great superstars coming out from that era. One of them is Braun Breaker. But we did lose, that aura of NXT. So it is something to worry about if TKO would put their hands on it, but I don't feel like they would. And I feel like right now they want to have the international market going on. And I think AAA, they're just going to let it do their own thing right now. Because the reason why I say that TKO doesn't look at this as a bad thing, because right now they saw how well received it was, how well talked about it was, how positive they were, and they haven't gotten this shit from WWE itself in quite a while.
Such a long time.
So that's why it's very optimistic that they put this, the whole rewatch, they put this during the end of the Raw stream and able to watch it on Netflix, which is a nice touch. That shows that they have a lot of appeal to AAA right now after this whole mass versus mass. And I'm not really optimistic about this. What else we got?
And then last but not least, Nick says, Nick says, who do you feel could be the next guy that could save Creative it? Like Triple H did when he took over NXT Black and Gold. Listen here, bro. There's only one guy who's going to save the job, bro. We know who his name is, bro. Vince Russo, bro.
Hell no. That's a good question, Nick. Honestly, I'm going to put it this way. It's not that you need one guy to save WWE. There's probably a ton of good writers at that table that we watch. What's it called? Unreal?
Yeah.
There's probably a bunch of good writers. The issue is Triple H needs to turn down the ego.
Yeah.
And just let them, let creative ideas come out and just run with it and see where it goes. I feel like with him, with all that power where he says yes or no, that's basically another Vince. Except at least Vince had some sort of history with just being a booker, while Triple H was a wrestler turned booker. You're still missing a lot of knowledge in that transition. It's just not the same. So I feel like he should let his ego down and bring up good writers and just let them cook.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing and just stick your big ass nose out the way. What else we got?
Jose said, also looking forward to Triple Mania. Not 100%, not too 100% sure. but my family want to do a Mexico trip, and I'm planning on going, and also Raw and SmackDown. It's gonna be a whole hell of a lot cheaper. I can tell you that.
Well, it'll be if it is a lot cheaper, that would be good. Also, it'll be a lot funner. I see the crowd how they reacted that night. It was awesome. Um, honestly, if I was you, try to make that trip happen and let us know how it goes. Because honestly, I'm excited for you, my man. And if I had the opportunity, I would go myself because the crowd looks so invested and they look fun. It looks really fun.
17,000 people. Ole, ole, dude. Honestly, that you know what I love is when they were doing the press conference. You know what? I'm gonna keep calling him a Grande Americano because I refuse to believe that Ludwig Kaiser is Grande Americano. There is no proof of it. But the thing I love is that he got emotional. He started kind of crying, like, dude, look at my career where it's at now. It's awesome. You saw on Saturday as he walked through, the crowd was lit, the crowd was crazy. I've heard a lot of people say that they don't want him to be Grande Americano anymore. They want him to be Grande Mexicano because he's become and he's actually accepted and involved himself so much in the Mexican culture. To them, they love it.
I just prefer Americano just because
it's a funny gimmick. So I agree with you.
Well, right now you have so much history.
Yeah.
You went through this whole thing, and for Chad Gable to give him the nod, it's
and
like,
the mask.
Yeah, and the mask is like, bro, you got to continue on with this. Yeah.
And then Nick says, I agree, SG3, the one and only, the original, bro, not Matt Riddle.
I mean, I agree with you on that. He's the original. Matt Riddle's a piece of shit. So honestly, I'm not defending that piece of shit guy. Fuck that guy. Honestly, there's only a few people I hate in. There's a lot of people I hate in wrestling. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm as bitter as probably as these guys say Bret Hart, which I think that man has every right to be bitter. Alrighty, let's get back into the Raw. Raw review. We got Sol Ruca coming out, the brand new Intercontinental Champion. Coming up next, she makes her entrance as well as gets interviewed. Before she says anything, the crowd chants, "You deserve it." And then she says, "This has been a dream come true. She's believed she could be champion. And all of you as well believed in her as well." And so from her heart, she says, "Grazie." I don't know if I butchered that.
Grazie.
Grazie, the Italian way of basically thank you. Crowd gives her a great standing ovation. And then she says, honestly, props to Becky Lynch. She was against her having this match, telling her she wasn't ready. But in the end, she still came out, test herself against her, the very best. She proved her wrong, though. And it's not me saying that, it's everyone else saying that as well. But as tough as it is, it was her work here getting started. She wants to be a fighting champion, and that's what she's going to be. Don't underestimate her because she's a rookie, because then your soul will be snatched by Sol Ruca, the Intercontinental Champion.
Yep.
And afterwards, the firework hits, pyro goes off. Segment, my opinion overall is that I think it was a good segment, but I feel like Sol Ruca needs a little work on the mic. Yeah, it needs a little tweaking. She just seems kind of awkward right now. Like she had a segment later on backstage that felt a lot better for her. This one seemed a little bit awkward. Maybe she's not used to being out there in the bigger crowd than NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But just needs a little bit more tweaking out there. But regardless, decent interview. We move on. And at this point, we do get an exclusive look backstage with Roman and Cody Rhodes at Clash of Italy, giving each other eye to eye. And with that, we go into the next segment, which would be Roman then sees that and says, I got something to say to him too eventually. So he's saying that there's still some sort of animosity between him and Cody Rhodes.
1+1.
Yeah, which obviously we know this because if you remember last year's Survivor Series, they didn't get along pretty well at that point. Roman then sees with the Usos at this point, right? And he tells Jay, hey, you know how this was? You know how it was when you were getting your ass beat? Like, years ago, he's telling Jay, you got to put that mindset into Jacob Fatu and watch him a little bit because they still not fully there on trusting Jacob Fatu, I guess. He needs to understand tough love. And Jay, I'm counting on you to show him that at that point. And then he tells Jay this. It's like, hey, I know you had this title before. And he points at the world heavyweight champion, but you didn't have the other one before. And so you need to go win this King of the Ring and then go to SummerSlam with the other one there. Will be two heads on the table at that point, because you know that's going to be able to happen. And he says, I need to level up here, Jay. I need to level up. And Jay gets hyped. Jay says, okay. Jay leaves. And then Jimmy also tries to go after him, but Roman says, hey, Big Jim, I need to stay here. He needs to do this on his own. And with that segment, we get a little preview of what's to happen in the future. So Roman wants Jay to pursue the undisputed champion that he once held.
Yep.
So that means he wants Jey Uso to go back into the title scene. And he's able to say, look, I want things to done right in a way where now there's going to be two head of the tables if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
So that does look a little bit positive there for Jey Uso. As well as we see that they don't trust Fatu fully yet.
Yep.
And then eventually that means down the line they're still gonna have their little beef with Cody Rhodes or whoever's champion at that time. What do you think of the segment?
So we're back to Roman's lackeys again. Something we've been saying from day one. That's all they are ever gonna be at this point of their career, probably. Whenever Roman's champion, it's just his lackeys. The fact that he's like, hey, dude, go ahead and be out for the championship, it does actually make it more interesting. You know what? Because I feel like eventually this could happen. If it does go, I could see Roman with the workhorse title, even though he's not a workhorse. Jay with Cody's title.
Right.
Fatu and Jimmy with tag team.
Okay.
I can see that actually happening. Or, if the thing is, US title for Jacob, Jimmy for the Intercontinental.
Okay.
I can see that too.
I can see that, or maybe Jimmy doesn't get a title because I don't think Jimmy really wants to get in that title scene because Jimmy's pretty much been the guy who just like tries to calm the situation. It's like if you notice, Jay and Jimmy are good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Jay's the bad cop, Jimmy's the good cop. I think Jimmy's fine the way it is. I don't think he needs a title. And also because Jimmy has responsibilities now outside of the ring, now that he has a kid, I think he doesn't need to be there every single week like Roman does. So I think Jay makes more sense to go after that title scene. Do I want to see it though? Hell no. I don't think anybody wants to see Jay back into that title scene, even with the bloodline involvement. But that is a good angle to go with, and that could also cause more conflicts in the future if Jay doesn't win these titles matches and fall short. Roman could get frustrated with them and eventually get on his ass, or he might just leave it up to Fatu to go after these titles, which would piss off Jey Uso in the end of the day. And then the animosity builds up, the beef builds up, and the downfall will have come through eventually by the end of the year. What else we got here?
It's crazy how they don't trust Fatu yet. Want main event Jey Uso to be world champ, undisputed champion. What the fuck?
So it's crazy that they don't trust Fatu yet to be main event. Jey Uso. So I agree with you in a way. That is crazy. I think Fatu is ready, and I think he should be champion at some point in the future. I don't want to see Jay as an undisputed champion, especially how that title scene is going about. I know for a fact this. Look, Cody Rhodes is going to lose that title. I don't see him going through the end of the year with the title. I see him dropping it eventually. I highly doubt we're going to get another year of Cody Rhodes with the title scene.
Yeah.
I think he's going to lose it to Gunther. That's my prediction. Maybe he gets the storyline with Jay, but I think by SummerSlam he'll lose it to Gunther. Especially how Clash of Italy went about, where they had a great match, even though they only gave him 12 minutes.
Yeah.
They had a really good match, but for some reason they gave him only 12 minutes. And that faulty finish where Gunther did have the title underneath this,
like underneath the belt.
Yeah.
Underneath the rope.
The rope. the ref counted, which I think was stupid that he counted. He wasn't supposed to do that. At that point, it sets up a finisher for SummerSlam, maybe for both of them to face off because you need another big match out there. And these guys, when they go into the ring, they have a lot of chemistry with each other. So I can see that happening. Any thoughts on that, issue 3?
I agree. Like, you know what? I agree with you that maybe it's gonna be Cody's gonna drop it. Just don't win, but he's gonna drop it soon. I don't think he ends the US champion.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with that. And honestly, it's gonna add more it's gonna add more for when they finally do Roman versus Cody 3. So I can also see that happening. We do have a couple comments. What you were saying?
Yeah, I do not want to see that shit, by the way. Go ahead.
Thoughts on Finn Balor joining SmackDown? I don't know if you guys talked about it, but I think it's a bad idea. I wanted Finn to stay on Raw. I feel like it's a better chance winning the World Heavyweight Championship than the WWE. Also, if Finn does face Cody, I think they gonna turn Finn heel again. What's the point? Also, get rid of Judgment already. It's crap like Liv's championship reign. LOL.
Well, let me answer the first part. What do I think about Finn joining SmackDown? I think it already happened. Finn is done with the Judgment Day. Finn is not going to go face JD McDonough or Dominic Mysterio, or he's going to get involved with Liv and Raquel. And honestly, rightfully so, because that storyline was just stupid to begin with. There's nothing that came out of it. Bad idea. It depends, because what has Finn done on Raw that makes you want him to stick on Raw at this point? There's nothing there for him. I think for him to go to SmackDown and just run around the idea, something new would probably give him a new, amped up career at that point. And it probably brings out better opportunities into the US title scene right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it just gives them a fresh start.
Yeah.
Because on Raw, I think he did everything he can. He's been there for years.
Yeah.
And there's not much to do after that. But at least at this point, maybe at some point Finn versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Finn versus Gunther if Gunther sticks around on SmackDown. What else we got? Finn versus Solo. Finn versus Royce Keys, maybe.
Finn versus Tala-Tonga.
Vince versus Matt Cardona. That would probably be a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carmelo Hayes.
Trick Williams
would be a good match. I'm honestly I'm a little excited for that just because it's something new. Something we could see now on Fridays because we need something to boost up those
honestly, we really do
eyes on that product. What else? And then for the second question, also if Finn does face Cody, like we were talking about, I feel like they're gonna turn Finn heel. Again. And what's the point? They get rid of Judgment Day already, and it's crap like Liv Morgan. Okay, so if they turn Finn heel by himself, I think that's a lot better than him having to align himself with the group in order to feel dominant. Finn as a heel by himself was great.
Yeah.
We saw this in NXT. We saw this back in the day when he started the Bullet Club. I think he's fine as a heel by himself.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. And as well as Liv Morgan's title reign is crap, I agree 100%. It's stupid. It's pointless. We're going to talk about that later on tonight. But what do you think, SG3? Any of this stuff?
I agree with you 100%. Liv Morgan's title reign is bogus. I get you're probably waiting for Stephanie Vaquer to come back from injury. However, you could have had so many small little feuds in between here and the main one to actually, really hype up and actually add value to the title. At this point, it's like, so you just got the championship for what?
Yep.
So, yeah. And also, Finn versus Cody, that'd be a badass match.
Oh, yeah, that would be a badass. All right, afterwards, we see Rey Mysterio then makes his entrance with Dragon Lee. They face Rusev and Ethan Page on a tag team match. And then at this point, this match was feels like a filler match.
Yeah.
Anytime I see Rusev, I'm like, man, this is just like a filler match at this point. The man's going to lose all the time. I don't know, man. It's not sadly. He put himself in this position.
That's
so Rey hit the 619 on Ethan Page to pick up the win. Like I said, it was just a filler match. It is what it is. I don't know what else you want to say about this, but afterwards we see Penta and Pierce talk about Rey and him facing off against each other. And that match is going to happen, Pierce says. And at this point, where Pierce says, I'm going to make it happen, we see Penta leave. And then we hear, don't you go anywhere. And then it's LA Knight. Pierce says, LA Knight, what is on your mind? LA Knight says, it's up on your mind. It's the beginning of the night. And Bloodline's out there with two on one, no, 2-1. He seen him last week makes house calls to Roman Reigns' locker room. He never came in his locker room. He tells that to Pierce. Pierce says, wait, what do you think you saw? Adam Pierce, he tells him, Adam Pierce, are you feeling oozy? Since you want to rewind the clock, maybe we can go back and get you an honorary Ooze t-shirt and a new Fala at the shop. And well, that way Roman can bring you into the family bloodline. And maybe at that point you could talk to Roman because he's the world heavyweight champion. And then Pierce is like, maybe he saw me talking to him because I'm trying to set up the match Roman and Fatu this whole time, and says, not what you think, LA Knight. And it's none of your business anyways. Either way, what he says right now is that he's giving them energy he never gave Reigns. That's what LA Knight says. Somebody told you the wrong story. I will pull you out of retirement just to put you back in there now. And that's what I want to see as champion is Roman Reigns. And if it ain't him or Fatu, make them believe otherwise, he says. Fatu, and he tells Pierce, Fatu is a liability. You know that. You're going to believe whatever you're going to believe, LA Knight. And I don't need to prove you anything at this point. He's trying to just keep family blood in line.
Yeah.
That's all it is. LA then grabs his finger while he was talking to him, drags it up in the air, and we see him doing the 1. He says he makes him 6 and walk away. So this whole segment, in a way, seems like LA Knight was kind of shooting.
Yeah.
It just seems like LA Knight's kind of talking how we kind of feel in a way. So I'm a little confused where LA Knight's going to land on all this because once again, it seems like we're rehashing feuds. We're going to rehash a storyline where we're going to have Roman and LA Knight face off once again in the PLE where LA Knight's going to get squashed again.
Yeah.
Copy and paste. I'm sorry. I'm not excited to see that.
No.
I don't want to see LA Knight getting involved, but he's already involved. Like I said, I'm not excited for anything involving LA Knight with the bloodline, but it's going to happen.
Sadly.
Pierce might be in the middle of this now. So that being said, we had obviously Nick Aldis on SmackDown with involvement with the bloodline. Now we're seeing Pierce. Do you see Pierce getting closer to Roman because of this without trying to get involved, but he just is naturally?
I can see it.
Do you think he'll get in line with them?
I don't think he'll get a line, but it would be like, are you or you're not?
Right. Like I said, I like LA Knight. I really do. I just feel like this whole involvement with him in the bloodline, copy and paste, boring type of thing once again. Any other thoughts on this?
Nothing. Do you actually hit everything on the head?
What else we got for comments?
3 comments from Nick. Liv Morgan is irritating. Rusev Machka.
Yeah.
And then LA Knight stands for losing always night.
That I agree, because in the end of the day, this man's never going to catch a W on the main event scene. I do not understand why they have him involved once again for the bloodline. I get it there, but it just doesn't need to be. Like I said, it's a copy and paste shit. It's like we're trying to rehash that magic from WrestleMania once again by involving long storylines with the same guys all over again. I'm not excited for it. I really not. But it is what it is. Next up, we see Io versus Lash Legends versus Roxanne and the hometown favorite Julia in a fatal 4-way for the Queen of the Ring qualifier match. So this match, was pretty decent. Fast pace, not a bad match. Io picks up the win with the moonsault on Julia to move forward on to qualifier matches. So, hometown favorite, Julia.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're not going to get her pushed up anymore to the main event scene champion, probably. If we do, we'll be lucky. She did have a different style of hair, which I thought was
Yeah.
nice. I thought she looked good with that. But also, I don't understand why they had to pin her out of everybody. Like, think about it. Lash, they're trying to protect her. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but they're trying to protect her. Io was gonna win this. Roxanne couldn't eat the pin. I think she should have eat the pin.
I thought so too.
It would have made sense because later on, what we got later on in the night with her in the Judgment Day would have made more sense in the end where she was freaking out. But instead, they had the hometown hero Julia take the pin. How much more of burial do you need to have for this woman?
Honestly,
A talented wrestler just thrown into the trash by WWE. It's embarrassing. I feel bad for Julia.
I do too.
Yeah, like I said, Roxanne should have took this pin. And then once again, another fatal four-way match. I don't understand the appeal of this. I'm not excited to see another qualifier like this, and I hope they stop this as they go. But we already seen later on that they have a couple more cards in the same book. I guess at this point, they're trying to squeeze every superstar
into one tournament and then go forward.
Yeah, which I think is just
They
dumb.
should just do a battle royal at that point.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this?
I just said what I had to say and I'm good.
Okay.
Was Stephanie McCurry on Raw from Nick?
Was Stephanie Vancouver on Raw tonight? No. Tonight, no. I don't know where she's been at. I think she's still injured technically. So with that being said, I don't know when she's gonna return.
They said soon. They have been saying soon.
I think before SummerSlam for sure. But
They will be on SummerSlam.
Yeah. But at this point, I don't know. The sooner the better because things are just going pretty bad, and we already know Liv Morgan is set to face her off eventually for the title because Liv hasn't defended that title since she won it, and she hasn't done anything storyline based with the title at all, just besides being the manager of the Judgment Day, Roxanne and Raquel.
Yeah,
which I think is just a waste of potential right there. Waste the storyline, waste the title space. I don't know what WWE's doing creative right now. We then seen afterwards backstage Maxine talking to Pierce how she overlooked her again. He says no. He says I'm not overlooking. If let's just say this, Pierce says, if an opening comes up, you're on the list. She says, and then she says, okay, fine. Pierce leaves, and Otis says, hey, are you okay? And she aggressively says, I'm fine. And then he mentions, hey, I seen you talk and hanging out with the Theory a couple of times. I'm telling you, stay away from me. He's bad news. She says, I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm going to do, too. So I'll catch up with you guys later. And she walks away, and Otis and
Hiro Tozawa.
Yeah, like they all just look very confused of the storyline. So that being said, what is the future of Maxine's going to happen with Alpha Academy?
She's going to leave them, betray them in some way, shape, or form, join the Vision with her man, Austin Theory.
So there's talks about new members of the Vision, though.
Okay.
There's talks. I personally think a guy who could join the Vision, which would make storyline sense, would be Grayson Waller. Because Grayson Waller is no longer with the New Day. New Day left. And obviously, Grayson Waller was in the tag team against Theory. They had a lot of issues, but none of that storyline ever got resolved. Yep. If Grayson Waller joins the Judgment Day, the Vision, with Paul Heyman bringing him in without Theory's consent, it'll bring a good storyline.
Yeah.
It could explain to a lot of things what happened between both of them. Involving Maxine as well would make things a little intriguing here.
Very intriguing.
As long as nobody gets injured throughout this process. What do you think about this?
So what I think is honestly the fact that, to add to you, it 10 minutes lost my train of thought. It basically makes basically like a new little feud that's about to come up, and it actually keeps the Vision occupied with Alpha Academy. Yes, they're gonna squash them. Yes, they're gonna make them look like crap. But at the end of the day, though, it's like the old days when you have a new person coming into the Vision or into the bad guy group, the heel group, and they go against like some random B team. It does actually elevate it. So I can see it actually going. And for Maxine, it does help out her career. Now, I'm not saying the fact that she's going to go in and become an amazing wrestler. No, but what I'm saying is it could actually help her elevate her to the point where she's sitting here saying, "Hey, you know what? I wasn't good before, but I want to be better now," and I can see it.
To an extent, I get what you're saying. Virus Maxine, I'm sorry, I don't have faith in her. We've seen her at her best, and yet she still falls short. We've seen her behind her. I just don't think she's ever going to be a good wrestler, and her mic work is still
No.
mediocre. I think as a heel for the Vision will give her a good position just temporarily though.
Yeah,
Once it's over, don't see much for her anymore. Could be a release eventually. I don't understand how she was still there once they release.
I'm surprised all the fucking enemies still there.
Yeah, like these people are just there for fucking jokes and spots. And what was it 2 weeks ago? The Whataburger mascot, like they were just there for those type of things. I don't understand how they all have a job. But
No.
yeah, I get what you're saying though.
It's because Akira Tozawa could do the Ruffle Shuffle. Don't forget War Games from 2023.
See, he's a good wrestler by himself, but
He
WWE
is.
turned him into a fucking joke, unfortunately.
And I don't know why. I really don't know why. Dude, when he came in, he had so much hype.
Because he was a good wrestler.
He was a fantastic wrestler. He was actually one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Then he became just a jobber. Let's go ahead and pair him up with Otis and have fun. And that's what we have right now. Thoughts on the Women's World Championship? I can't wait for Naomi to come back. I felt like they could have done a lot, but she got pregnant. Also, proceed with caution.
So thoughts on the women's champion right now? It's bad. We're not getting it defended, unfortunately, and I don't understand why. Again, bad writing, bad booking. Having Liv Morgan as a manager for Roxanne and Raquel makes no damn sense.
No.
And it's just wasting time. We could have put this title on somebody that really needed this push. There was a lot of good wrestlers out there that could have used a rub. Just doesn't make any sense. I get it. You're waiting for Stephanie Vaquer, but why not have her face off with somebody in the meantime?
That's
Put
what
her
I'm
into
saying. You could have had
storyline.
so many, and not even just a storyline. You could have had a lot of little one-off things, two-off things. You could have done something like that, which would have helped.
And then Naomi, basically, if she hadn't gotten pregnant, yes, I had a lot of great vibes from her that she was going to do some amazing storyline work because she was killing it.
She was great on the mic and everything.
Yeah, she was killing it with her heel character, Proceed with Conscience. I was enjoying it. And unfortunately, things happen. Hey, congrats to them, though.
Yeah.
When she does return, I hope they put her back into that whole storyline because she's only going to get older and she only has a little bit of time left. That way she could help elevate the next future stars
Literally.
of wrestling. And I hope we'll see her soon. Jimmy Uso didn't miss. Yeah, obviously. Of course he didn't miss. I remember the whole Jimmy Uso memes afterwards. It was just crazy, man. So at this point, we then see Bayley and Lyra getting interviewed asking what if they cross paths on Queen of the Ring tournament. Bayley says, we don't have to talk about that yet. And they're in line instead for a women's tag team champion since they both already beat the Judgment Day. And at that point, Bayley's getting hyped up, talking about it until Lyra sees Soul steps away from the interview and from Becky to congratulate her and telling her she really deserved it. And I'm glad you finally put an end to Becky's reigns of terror. Soul says, I wish I could do well like you did, Lyra. Lyra then says, well, since you mentioned it, for a while since Becky had the title, I couldn't challenge for that title. And then Soul says, look, say no more. It'll be an honor if I could defend this belt against the first person that holds this IC title. And so before we mention what goes on afterwards, well, actually, just finish off. Sorry. And afterwards, Bayley comes out of nowhere and says, hey, we were in the middle of something here. And then at that point, Soul walks off and you hear Lyra at this point gets all pumped up and says, yes, you hear that? I'm going for the IC title once again. Bailey looks confused as well as disappointed in this whole segment for what happened with Lyra going off of her own to get an IC shot. Um, so I like the fact that they were still honoring the fact that Becky's stipulation was
Yeah.
if I beat you, Lyra, you can't challenge me as long as I'm the IC championship. You
Yep.
can't come after this title. Now that it's off, Lyra has her eyes set back into the title scene. And obviously she's getting her opportunity. She's excited. But at the same time, Bailey's left confused, like I thought we were teaming.
No team,
Yeah.
no nothing.
Yeah, at this point, do we see a return of Bailey's crazy side once again?
I can see it.
Which we never got a conclusion to that, which I would like to see it sort of finish, as well as do we see more animosity between each other, start building it up. And now they're going to go challenge for the tag team champions. They mentioned it here. Do you see that basically them winning, or do you see that causing a ripple effect?
I can
into
see it
this?
causing a ruffle and
Oh.
the fight.
Any theories, any ideas on what happens next to these two?
I feel like Lyra's gonna go off on her own. Bailey's gonna go off her own, but Bailey's gonna be crazy the whole time.
Do you see if Lyra challenged Soul for the title that Bailey's on ringside, tries to help her,
Yeah,
costs her the match, and then causes more issues between both of them?
I can see it.
I don't know. I'm a little excited for this just to see where this goes to, because I think Bailey does great work and I think Lyra does great
Yeah.
work as well. I'm excited where the storyline goes to because these two women have a lot of potential to do great stuff. They just have great chemistry with each other, honestly. It's a shame that if they split up the tag team itself, but honestly, I would like to see a storyline between these two because I feel like it's long overdue since the days that Bailey was looking like a heel, crazy heel,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden she just turned complete face once again.
I forgot about the whole crazy side.
Yeah. It's nice to like just figure out what's gonna happen finally, because we already knew that eventually this was gonna be some sort of turn from either one of these women. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next between these two. Afterwards, we go into another scene where we have Roxanne going back and forth, disappointed on what just happened tonight, until Liv comes in all happy and says, I'm gonna look so great with that crown around my head.
Dang.
Raquel coughs and coughs again and telling her, hey, read the fucking room here. You know?
Yeah.
At that point, Liv says, look, I know it's been a rough couple of weeks here, Roxanne, but you have to remember who the hell we are. We're family. We're the Judgment Day.
Uh-huh.
She says she could use the family tonight when I was wrestling.
Dang.
But what's your plan, Liv? And she says, look, Judgment Day takes opportunity. And at this point, they're going to take the opportunity because her and Dom are going to become the new king and queen of the ring champions. Well, you know, the new queen of the ring. And then they're excited, they're cheering, and eventually JD looks at Dom, Raquel looks at Liv, and says, or it could be you, JD, as the new king, or it could be you, Raquel. Because either way, the most important thing is one of them is going to bring it all back to Judgment Day. And let's just forget about this night and let's just go have fun out there.
Uh-huh.
So I think we could talk about a lot of things here, a lot of issues with this segment. One, why the fuck is Judgment Day still a thing? Two, Dominic Mysterio hasn't done jack shit on Raw for the last couple of weeks, ever since the Finn Balor feud. What's the appeal of this? Why is Liv Morgan as champion competing in the Queen of the Ring tournament, for God's sakes?
They ran out of women.
But that doesn't make any fucking sense. She's the fucking champion. It shouldn't be her. I could understand Dominic Mysterio, even though he is the mega AAA champion, it makes more sense. But Liv is the fucking world heavyweight champion right now for the women's division, but yet they have her compete into this shit. Doesn't make any common sense. I feel like some writer in the back or Triple H literally forgot she's holding the title because that's how much she hasn't defended it. And they're like, oh shit, she's champion? Oh well, we already put the graphics up.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And we already see that Roxanne, they're gonna turn eventually Roxanne to turn on Liv Morgan.
Yep.
I can see her winning the Money in the Bank this year.
I can see it.
And I can feel like she's gonna hold on to that briefcase
for quite some time.
And then just make it seem like she's gonna go eventually over to SmackDown, cash it in. But eventually, obviously, we're gonna get that turn where she's gonna turn on Liv Morgan at some point. It could be during the Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan match if they hold it on to SummerSlam, where she comes in and basically wins the whole thing. It's gonna happen. It's a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, it's when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I really do want to see Roxanne win that Money in the Bank. I think
she honestly does deserve it.
I think she's the prime candidate, really.
She really is.
Who else you did see winning that Money in the Bank right now?
Unless it's a returning Naomi, I don't see anybody.
Nobody else at this point.
Nick says Dominic Mysterio.
I mean, there's not much to say with this motherfucker, honestly. Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Nick. Anything else you want to add to this? Do you have any faith anymore in the Judgment Day?
No, not at all.
Why are they still together, though? Is my question.
Because they're gonna disband, and that's when everything's gonna go back to normal.
I don't think they're gonna disband. I feel like if you not noticed that WWE has a thing where they're just prolonging every single group out there at this point.
They really are.
Why did they have Judgment Day since 2020, basically?
Yeah.
Keep going, even though the original members are gone.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not appealed for this. I'm not happy.
At least back in the day, they would change the name.
Yeah, but regardless, I think they should have disbanded after Finn just left. It just made no sense to keep going with any of this. So after this main event time, Seth comes out. He comes out to the main event to face Brock Lesnar. The crowd is pumped. They do a little bit of smack talk before Braun takes out Seth. Seth counters, and the match is on, man. This match was pretty good overall. So a couple of spotlights. One is the pedigree.
Yeah.
When Braun Breaker went from the spear from the other table onto the other one, Seth counters it by jumping up and catching him with the spear. Pedigree. While he was doing the spear. That was a great spot. Broke the table. Honestly, best spot of the night to me. Eventually, we did get some interference for Theory. Of course, it was going to be known. And at that point, we also got, which Theory did hit Rollins with the belt, with the tag team belt, by the way, which I forgot that Braun Breaker's now one half of the tag team champion. Ford comes out and takes out Theory, but at the same time, he gets speared by Braun Breaker, where Braun runs back into the ring, spears Rollins, but Rollins kicks out.
And we thought it was over there.
Yep. Braun then catches. Braun. So put it this way: Rollins then kicks Braun with the super kick, goes for the curb stomp, pins him, but Heyman puts his foot on the rope, and Rollins is pissed. Heyman's seen laughing and talking smack to Rollins. And at this point, he gets out of the ring. He goes slowly to Heyman.
Yep.
And he looks like he's going to go after him until we see Braun running around going after Rollins.
Bam.
And then eventually, Rollins jumps out the way. He misses, spears Heyman, breaks the barricade, and breaks Heyman in half. Damn, what a spear, honestly. We haven't seen Paul Heyman take a spear in that long
years
or take any type of bumps at all. Because he's not a guy who ever likes to take a bump. He admits that himself. He told Vince, look, when I come back to WWE with Brock Lesnar back in 2012, I'm not taking a bump. I'm not. Hey, you named your price. I actually respect that, Paul. But I guess for here, you made an exception finally. And hey, good to him, man, because at his age, to take that big of a spear, that shit gotta hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Doesn't matter how soft Braun might have done it. That must have hurt.
Especially because running at full speed.
Yeah. Seth then sees, then we see Seth Rollins grabbing the tag team title belt after the spear. Braun comes back, goes into the spear, connects, but it's taken out by Rollins because he has the title on him. Rollins then hits a curb stomp, pins him, and there we go. We have a conclusion to this match where Rollins wins the title scene. So he basically wins, and at this point, we see Rollins celebrating. He points up. Basically, first he does the whole title thing where he goes, "Yep," on his waist. Afterwards, he points up, and it looks like we make it clear that he's going to go after Roman Reigns eventually.
Yep.
So overall, what do you think of this main event?
Well, it was interesting. It was appealing. I liked the way that both of them wrestle. So I can see the fact that they're going to run it back because it's a lot of fun to watch them wrestle.
Okay.
What about you? What do you think about it?
I think it was a good storyline overall tonight. I thought it was great. I honestly thought this was the better match
Yeah.
of the one that they had last time. I thought that match was okay, but I thought this match was way better. More better stops, more better wrestling. We already know they're gonna run it back third time eventually. I don't know when, but eventually it's gonna happen. But it's the ending. I thought it was perfect. Paul Heyman taking that crazy bump was really surprising. I did not expect that at all. I hope he's okay. Honestly, I just hope he's gonna get written off storyline for quite a bit.
Yeah.
So after that, we're gonna see where Seth Rollins gets into storyline after this. If they still continue on facing the Vision, or the Vision takes a break and they try to regroup and they try to recruit new members and eventually go after Rollins and Ford and even Dawkins when he returns. I do think the Visions are going to get added new members because I don't think he's going to close off this whole Vision storyline.
No, it's not. It's a moneymaker.
Yeah, right now they're going to go MIA. Ford and Rollins are going to be happy that they at the moment thought they'd take out the Vision, but eventually the Vision will regroup later on, come back stronger, and get it going once again with the new members. So they say. What else we got here?
How do you feel about the nickname Boorman Lames? Boorman Lames.
Boorman Lames.
I don't know who that is.
I mean, I'm guessing that's Roman Reigns. I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, see, Roman Reigns. I don't know. I don't think it's that great, honestly. I think it's kind of a boring name, which is Boorman Lanes. I don't know. Where do you get that from, by the way? Who said that?
I think he made it himself, which if he did, hey, kudos for creativity.
I mean, I was gonna say, I thought you were all Roman Reigns fan here. But overall tonight, I thought Raw was a pretty decent show compared to like the weeks prior. I thought it was a little bit better. Honestly, the crowd's reaction tonight was really good. I couldn't ask for a better crowd. The main event was the main worthy main event tonight, and I can't say anything less. What else is Nick says?
Because some people think he is so boring and lame, right? SG3. Yeah, some people still do.
I honestly don't look. I don't think Roman is boring, but I also don't think he's exciting. I think he's between. I think he's not on that level of main events of years past, on those type of guys like
The Rock.
You mentioned Batista. I didn't think Batista was.
Hold on, wait. I never said charismatic. I'm saying he had aura.
He had aura, but you can't tell me that Batista was on the level of John Cena. Even
heck no. No. I understand. No, not that. You know who actually was charismatic? Even though he didn't say a lot, but he was charismatic just from the moment he walked into the ring, and because Nick just said laughing mask on Bautista. This guy walked into the ring, and it was like you could feel like a different kind of atmosphere when he walked in. Rod Van Dam, RVD, and it was because of his fighting style. It was unique. It was out there. Yes, he looked high as hell every time that he did a promo. Like honestly, the original bro. But he did phenomenal work in the ring. So he had like that aura, that charisma for him.
But here's the thing though.
On the microphone, he wasn't. He just
But
the other time.
RVD was never gonna be the guy, the
No.
poster boy like Roman is. This is a different level. Look, I'm not saying Roman is not on the level, but in a way, you got to remember back in the day where Roman was being put as the face, was forced to put as the face, where John Cena had to come up on their feud and he buried Roman on the mic, where Roman didn't even know what to do in the end of the day.
He forgot his line.
He forgot his line. And I felt like Roman did learn from that. Roman did step it up. But I still feel like that Roman is only a couple more steps above from that Roman Reigns. And without the guys around him, he's just not as appealing as the main eventers in the past, man. I've seen guys that are over him in my eyes when it comes to mic work, when it comes to charismatic. And I'm not saying he doesn't have the aura, but if you want to be the top guy in WWE, the face of WWE, I feel like you need more to it, I guess, in my eyes, than just the aura. What else we got?
And Jeff Hardy as well. And Nick says, no, he went toe-to-toe with CM Punk. Roman is goated on the mic.
So, put it this way. First of all, Jeff Hardy, yes, Jeff Hardy had the aura. That's a perfect example. Jeff Hardy had the aura. But when it came to the mic work, Jeff Hardy wasn't there on the mic. I'm a Jeff Hardy fan, but I'm going to admit it. He was not there on the mic, unfortunately. But he had the aura. He had the crowd involvement. And the crowd just loved Jeff Hardy since day one. Because, the stunts he did, the crazy shit. And when he finally got his shot, we were all behind him. Toe-to-toe to CM Punk. Look, there was a couple of segments that, he held his own. But I felt like in the end of the day, CM Punk got the best of that exchange. No doubt about it. I just felt like CM Punk won most of those exchange. And I just felt like Roman did win very few of those segments. But that's just me. I don't know. Greatest on the mic, though. Roman greatest on the mic. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. Do you really think he's the greatest on the mic?
No offense to anyone, but I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think he's even top 10.
To me, greatest on the mic, you got two. The Rock, Roddy Piper.
I would have to put The Rock, Austin. Who else would that be? John Cena? Sorry. Honestly, it would be you know what? John Cena, The Rock, Austin. Because I think Cena even he destroyed The Rock.
He did
during their one-on-ones. And I'm sorry, Cena just top up there. He destroyed Roman Reigns, for God's sake. He made Roman look like a jobber.
Literally.
And as your top guy, it doesn't matter. That really put Roman in a bad position.
Don't forget what he said. I'm doing this part-time better than you can ever do this full-time.
Ric Flair is another guy. Ric Flair had really good promo skills on his prime. You could say even the Macho Man. He may be a little biased, but he had some very good promo skills right there. Who else am I missing out there? There's a bunch of guys that I just put levels above Roman Reigns. Top 20, maybe top 20, but I just think there's a lot of guys. Hell, even I think LA Knight gives him a run for his money.
Yeah.
Even though the crowd are not invested in LA Knight like they used to be, I think his promo skills are just above that, above a Roman Reigns. If we're talking about mic work, yes. If we're talking about wrestling, I will give you this. Roman Reigns is a great wrestler. He sells great. He's very underrated when it comes to selling, because I really do think he's a great seller, and he's also great in the ring. I give him that. I'll give him that 100%. Roman is a great wrestler. Mic work, I think there's a lot of people above him, unfortunately. What else we got?
One of the greats in the modern era. Nick then says, who would you put above John Cena? Because that guy isn't even in top 10.
Who would you put above John Cena? I think he's top 10. You got to be crazy to tell me that's not top 10 guy. Who would you put up there against John Cena if that's the case? What do you think?
Where would you put Cena?
I told you, number one. I said it earlier. So my point is, who do you put against John Cena then, if that's the case?
Prime Rock.
Prime Rock, but he just feel like Rock was always one-dimensional because he'd always use, I don't know. I feel like that Rock that we got when he
Chris
returned.
Jericho.
Okay, Chris Jericho. That was the guy I forgot. Jericho in his prime was great too.
He will walk all over Cena.
Kurt Angle was good on the mic too.
The Miz.
The Miz is good on the mic. I think The Miz is better than Roman Reigns. I don't know why. I just feel like he does. His mic work is different. He puts in
Rock, Austin, Taker, Triple H, Randy Orton, Mick Foley, Ric Flair, Jericho. I agree with you, except for Mick. Mick for me wasn't the guy on the mic.
You think these guys are above John Cena? Though? You're gonna tell me Triple H was above than John Cena? I'm sorry, I don't see that. Austin maybe. Taker as American Badass could hold his own, but I think Cena was better. Randy Orton, I don't see it. I think Cena was better than Randy Orton on the mic. Ric Flair could be a tie. Jericho could be a tie.
I have Jericho above Cena.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I think could be there. I think we're underestimating when Cena's let loose without the PG restriction. He's on another level, and he brought that whenever he had to bring it out. Basically, he brought that during the retirement tour. I mean, against CM Punk, he brought that out too. I mean, he stepped it up to one of the greats. I mean, it's hard to match that when Cena's not restricted on this PG era. What else we got?
Just think about Mankind. That guy's promo work was crazy.
I'm not saying his promo work wasn't good. I don't know.
I'll be honest. I just don't have no above Cena. I get you 100%. And I am a Mick Foley fan. I love Mick Foley. I love Cactus Jack. I love Dude Love. I love the Three Faces of Foley. I loved it all. However, though, there was just somewhere I don't have where I was like, I can't have him, especially like early Mankind. I can't do it. Early Mankind seemed just like you just too wanting to be dark and squeaky at the same time. It didn't work for me during that time. I want back. Now, don't get me wrong. When it became darker, and you have the song, and it was like, oh, okay, cool. I see you're demented, you're deranged. I see it now, but I don't feel like it was to that point of up top during that time. He then says Dusty Rhodes and CM Punk.
Dusty was way good in the mic. I'll give him credit to that. Yeah. CM Punk, yeah. I just feel like with Cena, with the restriction of the PG, I felt like letting him loose, and we saw an instance of that when he was let loose without restrictions. He was great on the mic. I just feel like with the PG era, he was held back. But you notice though, he had comedy gold even then. He was quick. He was really quick with the comments and stuff. Because he was kind of giving that, like, I could hold my own, but I'm also restricted, unfortunately, because I got to play up for the kids. Mm-hmm. But he had a lot of good lines out there. A lot. Look at John Cena's greatest hits on the mic. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised a lot of stuff you can see out there.
You mean the one where he got the Miz?
The Miz, I mean, dude, he destroyed a lot of people's careers. I'm telling you, he destroyed a lot of people's careers. It's crazy. I think we forget about that. What else we got?
Hell, I'd even say LA Knight without restrictions.
LA Knight's already without restrictions. I mean, I think LA Knight's better than Roman Reigns right now on the mic. Even though the crowd's not over with LA Knight anymore because it killed basically that aura of LA Knight. Edge was better. Edge was good on his prime. I'll give him that. Edge was good on his prime. You know who was better than Edge and certain other superstars? It was Christian.
I was going to say Christian.
Heel Christian is a lot better on the mic, especially in his TNA days. Like I said, there's a lot of guys that are really underrated on the mic that we look past because they weren't always the main event type of guys. Even though Christian did hold a couple of world heavyweight titles in his prime, Christian Cage in AEW was great. Not really in WWE. Not really in WWE. But if you look at his TNA days, it was peak. He was on top of the world. That's why WWE brought him back and put him in the title scene. Because he was peaking TNA, but unfortunately, they didn't see him long enough to hold the title for more than a day. Unfortunately,
Jose said, and also just making voice. Roman is about business.
I guess so.
Stands on business.
Yeah, he doesn't do much talking. That's the reason why. That's a good thing, though. Hey, I'd rather have him get the aura than get the mic work if it isn't always there. Unfortunately,
yeah.
I think Roman's a lot better on the mic than he was back then.
For sure.
For sure.
2014, 100%.
I just don't think it's that great, though. I feel like it's still not on par with other superstars. What else we got?
And Vince McMahon was great on the mic. No, Nick.
You know what? I agree with you, Nick. I think Vince was good. Vince was,
It's me, Austin. It was me all along. No, I don't think so.
but he did open up a lot of Monday Night Raw from back in the day, and he had a lot of feud with Austin. Only way that chemistry worked if you had two guys good on the mic, or else it would have been stale. You gotta admit, we hated the guy, but he brought that heel work. Whenever he's on the mic, he grabbed people's attention the way he talked. I honestly think he was great on the mic. I honestly think he is underrated there. He's great on the mic. I don't think Shane was good on the mic. I don't think Stephanie was that great on the mic, but I think Stephanie was better than Shane McMahon on the mic for sure. Yeah.
Nothing better than Linda.
Yeah, well, no shit, everybody was. That then why was Vince one of the greatest heels in a business? Well, like I said, I agree with you. Austin career couldn't have been as great if there wasn't the greatest. I want to say greatest, but there wasn't a heel in the business like Vince McMahon was. It worked because we all hated Vince, and whenever he talked on the mic, we booed the man. We hated this man like he was our boss, basically, even though he wasn't. And that only worked because of Vince McMahon was a heel, and he knew how to talk. He knew how to get that crowd invested in him and hate him. Linda is top 10 worst. I think Linda's number one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who else could be worse than Linda, really. Paul Heyman is better
than Cena.
Fine. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Fine. But then again, Paul Heyman had enough time to craft his work on the mic. He didn't have to wrestle like every other wrestler.
Yeah.
So he should be good there. I mean, at that point, you could also put Gorilla Monsoon.
Gorilla Monsoon
was great on the mic. And I think we're missing a couple too, man. Who was one of the worst on the mics too with Linda McMahon? I like this guy, but I'm about to say it, the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I love the Ultimate Warrior as a character, but I think he was one of the worst too.
I'll tell you what one of the worst ones was. Voice Box Kane.
Yeah.
Voice Box Kane.
Kane was good on the mic years later, though.
But after you got rid of the stupid little voice box.
Yeah.
When he had his my name is Kane. Yeah.
Jesse Ventura was another good guy
Bobby
on the mic.
Heenan.
Who was the worst on the mic too? Fuck.
So we have Linda, we have Voice Box Kane.
What's his name? He came back as Mystical, but back then he was Sin Cara.
Yeah.
Sin Cara. Remember the bouch that he did on live air and he just could never come back at it. Now then eventually he turned around, became a hell of a fucking wrestler and promo. What else he puts? Braun Strowman was awful. Yeah. Oh, what did I miss one up there?
Get these hands. And then he said Jack Swagger was the worst on the mic, especially with his lift.
What do you think he didn't talk in his AEW run? He just was silent the whole time.
Yeah.
Because even Jericho knew this guy was bad, you know? Get them hands. Yeah, honestly, Strowman was bad. Oh, we forgot another one. Bray Wyatt on the mic. That man was really great on the mic.
I was gonna say one of the worst. Are you serious?
No, I said.
I'm
talking about. Come on, how the fuck you think I'm gonna put Bray Wyatt as the worst, man? How? Fuck. Samoa Joe was better than Cena. Nah. I think Joe was great on the mic though, but I don't think he was better than Cena. But he was great on the mic. All right, enough of that shit, man. Fuck. Fuck that shit. Joe. And where is he now?
Still a champion.
I don't think he's champion.
Thought he was, wasn't he?
No. So he says, come on. I don't think he's better on the mic. I'm sorry. I think he's great on the mic. I think he had some great work in TNA. I seen some Mojo in TNA. I thought he was one of the greats there. I still do think he's one of the greats of TNA history. It would be Joe, Angle, Styles, Christian.
Sting.
Sting is debatable. Sting is debatable. Just because there's so many other wrestlers that put him up there. Abyss is one of the greats TNA, basically.
No, I'm saying Sting on the mic.
Sting on the mic was okay. I'm sorry. Sting on the mic wasn't this great. He was kind of like, like Goldberg on the mic?
Yeah.
A little bit better than Goldberg. I'll be on that. But he wasn't great on the mic. He got better throughout the years, but not as great. What else we got?
Nick says AJ Styles was decent.
AJ Styles as a heel was great on the mic.
Yeah.
AJ Styles as the face was kind of
Meh.
in the middle. Yeah.
Jose, you mentioned Bray Wyatt. In my opinion, a hot take. Bray Wyatt is an example of good ideas were only good in your head, but when it was reality, it's bad.
Interesting. That's an interesting take you give me there. So that's one of those things that you really got to think about.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just thought Bray, when he just came in, he just got me so invested in it.
Follow the buzzards.
I guess, but I feel like the guy, if the guy would have changed characters into some other type of character, like more of a natural character, I still would have thought he would have been great on the mic. I just think he had the right mindset. This guy had a really good mindset for wrestling.
Yeah.
So yeah, he puts the Road Dogg on the mic was good. Yeah, well hell,
Road Dogg
was good. See, some of those Attitude Era guys that was mid carders were very ahead of their time. Like
really
these
were.
guys could have been really over. Hell, I'm surprised he didn't put Enzo there. Enzo Mori. The rumor that he's supposed to come back pretty soon. Imagine that. Enzo good on the mic. Enzo's better than Cena. And you can't teach that. When would you rank Tess? You mean Andrew Tess Martin at the mic?
Rest in paradise. Rest in peace.
Look, man, at the mic, he was one of the worst. As a wrestler, I think he was one of the most underrated wrestler in the wrestling, because he was a big man, but he could move.
Yeah.
He could beat you up. It looked real. It looked hurtful.
He was athletic. He was
pretty athletic for a big guy. I think he's the most underrated wrestler on the mic. He just had no charisma. How do we forget this guy? Big Papa Pump. Scott Steiner, I would say one of the best on the mics too. You guys remember
Vladimir Kozlov?
I know you were a fan of his ass.
100%, dude.
Santino Morello was pretty good on the mic.
Oh hell yeah, man! He's above Cena.
Becky Lynch is pretty good on the mic.
She's above Cena too.
Who else? Rhea Ripley's decent. I don't think great, but she's decent. I think she just gets a good crowd reaction.
She gets a very good crowd reaction. Mark Henry was good on the mic.
Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus was good on the mic, dude. She got a lot of heat.
I don't think about it.
Yeah. Lita wasn't that great though. Lita is not great on the mic. Who else was good?
Titus O'Neil was good at flopping.
I mean, I don't know whatever. I know he's still an ambassador to WWE, but
Yeah.
I'm just surprised we haven't seen him around just to do like some funny, quick-witted stuff. Dan Housen is decent on the mic, I guess. Jim Ross was great on the mic. Well, yeah. Jim Ross in his prime was one of the best, man.
Voice of the generation, honestly.
Jerry the King Lawler was all right, but
it just works well with that.
Yeah. What did he say?
Look at the Wyatt family. Yeah, it was good, but eventually faded away. Bray had many baguettes and time, and eventually his character faded away. Look at his sister Abigail versus Finn Balor. What a stinker! And also the Fiend. I'll give it to you, but wasn't interested and didn't give. Don't get me started with the Wyatt 6.
Interesting take. I don't know, man. That's a subjective thing to say. I don't know, man. What do you think, SG3? Because in the end of the day, he did have a lot of great feuds with a lot. Like some segments did not work out.
WrestleMania against Randy Orton.
With Randy Orton. But then you got to think about John Cena, Firehouse, Funhouse.
That was one of the best matches.
One of the best matches
honestly.
There. And some of them were not that great of a segments, like Goldberg versus Bray Wyatt. But then again, you had Goldberg on the other side.
Seth Rollins versus the Fiend.
That was because of bad story.
Yeah.
That was because of creative, bro. That wasn't even their fault. They had potential to be great. It was the creative being a DQ on the Hell in a Cell that made no sense. Bray did have a lot of great feuds though, man. The Shield versus the Wyatts was a great feud. Who else? The Wyatts. Who did they face that had a great? The Dudleys.
Yes.
The Dudleys was great. Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy. in the broken fucking Matt Hardy's house type of thing. I forget what they call it. That was a great segment. Really great. I just feel like there was a lot of great matches that he had and a lot of potential that he could have done even more had he not passed away early. But he did have a few bad matches. But I also think that's because of creative at the time, and that's because Vince didn't have so much trust into his character. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's why he had to keep coming back and reinventing himself over and over.
Even
again.
Triple H himself said, though, it's like he second guesses himself too many times because you'll come up with an idea today, turn around and say, "Now hold on, wait, I got a better one." No, hold on, wait, I got a better one. It's like, dude, just stick with the original. We all loved it. Why you have to keep changing it? So I feel like that could have been also probably one of Bray's biggest downfalls. Nick says, you know who people don't give enough credit to? Elias. Who wants to walk with Elias?
Elias was decent. Good character. I think he was in the mid Carter. Good mid Carter. I mean, at that point, you might as well also say the Godfather.
Oh, train.
Oh, you know who was a really underrated guy on the mic? Steven Richard.
Yep.
Right to censored. Sunday night Stevie Richard. I think that's what they used to call it when he was like the main guy on Sunday Night Heat. When Sunday Night Heat was getting not that much love, he was really putting it on the map.
Yeah.
Until Stephanie McMahon crushed them, basically. Steven Richard was great on the mic. I think it was very underrated. I think he has his own podcast. I follow that podcast. Really great guy on the mic. One of the most underrated. Ray. Why did you come then? All right, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of people on the mic underrated. That's a pretty good discussion. We didn't think it was gonna turn into who's good, who's bad on the mic. Bray Wyatt's theory. Danhausen, curse your stream. No shit.
It's because I don't think none of us are going for the Knicks. That's why.
Fuck the Knicks. I don't know. I don't watch. I really don't watch NBA. Sorry, guys. I don't watch.
I'm a Spurs guy, so I'll go with that.
I really don't care. But whoever wins. But I saw that with Danhausen.
Awesome. That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny
it's
collab
really funny.
there. What else you got? I love
the Knicks.
Obviously.
Good luck to you there, my friend.
Yeah. So regardless, guys, thank you for the comments out there.
Thank you for the love. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll be back on Friday. We'll be with Wyatt collabing probably. Probably do some gaming live streams during the week. But we appreciate that, man.
Can't wait for the World Cup.
We'll see about that too. But yeah, honestly, it's been great, guys. We'll see you next time. You already know. Dig it.
Peace.